Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host, Kushalmehra. All right, before we start today's discussion, I want to take this opportunity to wish everybody who's watching this live or who's going to watch this later on or listen to the podcast on the audio version a very happy Dhanteras. I wish all of you a very good day. I mean, it's evening in India, so it's almost done. It's 8 p.m. right now in India. But आप जिधर भी हो आप सबको धनतेरस की शुभकामनाएं. I wish you have a great festive season. Please go and support your local shopkeepers as much as possible. Do light a diya. Make sure that you light the diyas you light are made in India and are not from China. I've already done my bit. Now, having said that, today's podcast is about the five upcoming state assembly elections. I mean, as we speak right now, voting has begun. The first phase of voting has already begun officially.
Mhm.
So, for the ones who don't know, the elections are in five states, i.e., Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, and Mizoram, one of the northeastern states. And as always, to talk about the elections, I have Adit Kapadia with me. Adit, welcome and happy Dhanteras to you too.
Thank you, Kushal. Hello, everyone. Happy Dhanteras to you guys. May this beginning of the festive period, because Baras and Dhanteras is when all the Diwali festivities start, and may the next 5-7 days be a lot of fun. Eat a lot of food. Watch a lot of the World Cup. Watch a lot of the elections. Outrage with us, and spend time with your family, and enjoy yourselves.
So tu to Gujarati hai, so I don't need to tell you, but for those who may not know, in Gujarat, the holiday has officially started.
Yeah.
So in Gujarat, even like from an industrialist perspective, अभी मुझे more than 2 years हो गए अभी factory मैंने officially बंद कर दी है. So but still, I mean, I'm assuming the trends have not changed in 2 years. Suddenly the world has not changed. So what
Mhm.
used to happen in our textile days is that the entire Gujarat just shuts down for 10 to 15 days. All of it,
For about
workers,
7 days,
everything.
7 to 10 days. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
हाँ, नहीं,
So
मगर
from
क्योंकि धंधा नहीं होता ना, तो धंधा नहीं होता तो टेक्सटाइल वाले 15 दिन के लिए बंद कर देते हैं, पूरे का
So
पूरा.
I'm the son of a cloth merchant, so I'm very closely aware of what you're saying. But obviously not anymore. क्योंकि यहाँ पे हूँ मैं. But my dad's place, and we used to have a retail shop also. So on Diwali, where there was a big Diwali sale. So on Diwali day, it would shut down that retail store, but the other places would shut down on Dhanteras. Then we would do the Chopra Pujan on Diwali, which
Yes,
is the
चोपड़ा पूजन,
pujan
yes.
of the accounting books, with Gujaratis
Yes,
and Marwadis में बहुत होता है. Other
yes.
communities also, but
अदर
Gujaratis are.
टेक्सटाइल का है क्या ये? बेसिकली टेक्सटाइल का बहुत बड़ा चीज़ है
Huh.
ये.
But Gujaratis and Marwadis, almost I would say 90% of the families have some sort of
Yeah,
a puja, like a chopra pujan there.
yes,
Whoever is in business, and then it shuts down till Pancham. So New Year's
uh,
bhi hota hai hamara, right? So
yes,
that is big. That is actually bigger than Diwali in Gujarat.
yes, it is. And for industrialists, what happens is anyways, there's no business. So what
Right.
industrialists do is from the Diwali week, another approximately 10 days, everything is as good as shut. And they don't call the workers. The workers then slowly start trickling in after like 2 weeks by themselves. And then by the third weekend, you'll have 50% capacity on, and then by the fourth week you will have 65-70%, and then by the fifth week you have factories running at 100% capacity. So this is how we also used to function. In fact, even Ichalkaranji in Maharashtra, even
Hmm.
there they are like shut completely for like 10 days officially. 10 days officially, Ichalkaranji shuts down, which is one of the biggest textile hubs. People think Bhiwandi is the biggest textile hub. People don't know Ichalkaranji is bigger than Bhiwandi in Maharashtra.
And before people jump up and down saying अरे कैसे हो सकता है, let me tell you, in corporate America many companies actually shut down during the week
Yeah,
of Christmas,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
they have options where if you are needed to do it, people
Yeah,
are available. You have phones, you have emails, you can answer
yeah.
emails. So I wish even corporates in India start doing that, like
Mhm.
whatever 4 or 5 days they can pick, they can give that those days off, and give people emails and laptops and let them be, man. Like, this is time for family.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true, but that's how my almost a major chunk of my life was designed around Diwali time. Everything would be shut, and
Huh,
we would go to the factory to do Diwali puja. That's about it. And
huh.
then we would do our Diwali puja in the evening at home because घर की पूजा शाम को होती थी. बाकी हम लोग दोपहर को जाते थे फैक्ट्री में.
Hmm.
And yeah, so now that we've discussed whatever we had to discuss, let's get into the election. So five states will go one by one. Obviously, we're going to start with the main state, which is Madhya Pradesh. As of
Hmm.
now, the current government, I mean, counting तो बहुत दिन बाद होने वाली है. I think
हाँ.
दिसंबर को होने वाली है ना counting.
नहीं,
First
मध्य प्रदेश में तो अभी इलेक्शंस भी होने बाकी है. They will start. I think they all vote on one phase, if I'm not mistaken, on the 17th, and
yeah,
then
17th.
the results will be announced in, I think, 3rd December, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
whatever that
counting
Sunday
starts at
is.
1st December and then they announce the result, I think, on 3rd of December or
No, no,
something.
no, no. First नहीं, 3rd December ही है सब कुछ. That's Sunday.
No, because the election commission had said no exit polls till the 30th of November or something of that sort.
So I think the exit polls will not be allowed till the last phase of voting is over on
Hmm.
30th November at 5 p.m. And literally
Hmm.
5:01 p.m. the news channels will start broadcasting all the exit polls. And then उसके बाद 3 दिन तक तो क्या बात करेंगे? So they will do all these extrapolations. What do you think? This, that, this, and then 3rd December, 8 a.m. all the results will start trickling in.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I'll hand it over to you. Talk about Madhya Pradesh now.
Huh. So Madhya Pradesh, the biggest state that goes to polls, it has about 230 members of parliament, members of the legislative assembly, and 116 are needed for majority, 115 plus one. Here is a very interesting thing that happened last time. They go always to understand the contemporary elections. You have to go in a little bit of history, and Madhya Pradesh has been one of the few Hindutva states for the BJP, even before the BJP became the force that it has become, uh, over the last few, years. Because BJP was always doing a little better than before there. So in 1967, there was a party Lok Seva Dal, which basically challenged the Indian National Congress. DP Mishra, the father of Brajesh Mishra, was there, and even then the Bharatiya Jansangh, the erstwhile version of the BJP, won like 78 to 80 seats. So you can see that they have had a presence within there, winning continuously for a long time. And then when the Janta Party wave happened again at this time, it used to be Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh together before 2000. So the numbers
Mhm.
you'll see are almost 300, and you'll be, "Arey, 300 seat kahan se aayi?" That's where they come from. So 230. So in the last elections, Congress won 114 seats, but between them, Jyotiraditya Scindia and his gut of 20 MLAs crossed over to the BJP, and a lot of them resigned, and there were by-elections, and BJP won some, and then hence you see the updated picture here, where the BJP
Mhm.
has
130.
more than halfway, 130 seats, and Shivraj Singh Chauhan became the chief minister of Madhya Pradesh for the third time, or the fourth time, I think.
बेसिकली ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया के साथ 15 लोग आए थे ना या 18 लोग आए थे?
No,
कितने आए थे?
20 log, I thought it was 20 people, but not everyone got elected.
Yeah.
Because when they were by polls, some people lost and stuff like that, and so hence that happened. But Madhya Pradesh mein interesting ye hua hai ki after Digvijay Singh lost, Digvijay Singh was won two huge elections. BJP has not lost single election till the last year. Even then, the Congress did not officially win it. They got the single largest party with 114
Yeah.
seats, and
And
then
that
they got
last election was very close, हाँ. काफी
very
क्लोज था
close,
परसेंटेज वाइज. 1% का
बहुत
ही
close.
गैप था ना कुछ तो.
Correct. So the last election, actually not even 8%.
Hmm.
The Congress got 40.9% vote, and the BJP got 41.0%. So the
Yeah.
difference was 0.1%. And
Yeah.
uh, if I do that in sort of terms of votes or something, it was less than 40,000 votes
Yeah.
that was in the vote share, and the seats were five. So it completely bore out. And before you say, "Arey, why did BJP get 40,000 more seats?" Because kuch seats mein margin zyada hote hain, especially in the urban areas where Indore and things like that, BJP wins by gigantic margins. Madhya Pradesh mein there is another wild card that was always there, but then she has been going down. That is the emergence of Mayawati. You see those
Hmm.
two blue blobs that are shown in the map? Those are the
Yes.
two seats won by Mayawati. Now, typically Mayawati would actually won 4 to 5 seats. She has a solid 5 to 7% base in Madhya Pradesh, but
Hmm.
in since she lost her power in UP, she has been basically going down and down and down in seats. Now, where the BJP strength comes from is the five things you see: Jabalpur, Bhopal, Indore, Ujjain, and Gwalior. Now,
Yeah.
Gwalior may see this is a little bit of a misleading, because Gwalior has a lot of other adjoining seats also where the Sindhyas are a factor. Guna is where Sindhyas go. So I know it shows Congress, but I think this will all be BJP in the Gwalior. So urban areas, again, it is all going to be BJP. But if Congress manages to get a foothold, even a little bit of foothold in the urban areas, that is the only way it can actually beat the BJP. And you can see, they won little bit in Gwalior, little bit in Bhopal, one in Indore,
Hmm.
little bit in Jabalpur, and then they sweep the rural areas. That has been the modus operandi. What post Modi BJP has done in some states, in Rajasthan, we are seeing this as especially Congress is doing better than BJP in urban areas, and BJP is doing better in rural areas. So post मोदी बीजेपी का फायदा ये हुआ है एंड देन basically women safety remains an issue where in Madhya Pradesh that has improved.
Yeah.
uh, there has been the Ladali Lakshmi Yojana that has significantly helped the BJP, the direct cash transfer, then the grain and stuff. So
That
a
that
lot
really
of
picked up post COVID, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then the whole grain wala situation where people were getting grains and stuff. So it has picked up significantly, and a lot of people are getting benefit. And even though I would say Congress was ahead of BJP about a month ago, and always it happens, right? Before Prime Minister Modi comes and campaigns, Congress is usually neck and neck and stuff, and then the BJP starts to pull away. Always happens with parties in power in the center, because their star campaigners are usually cabinet ministers and they just can't come and campaign. But what is very interesting is Congress has managed to keep this very localized. BJP was trying
Hmm.
to make Kamal Nath an
That's a
issue,
good point.
but Kamal Nath has not been an issue. Whatever reports you are reading, and I'm not a fan of Mr. Kamal Nath, but the fact
Hmm.
is, if in 2014 a lot of people had a bit of an aversion to Kamal Nath, right now you are not seeing that. The only person who's saving BJP there is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, because he still has a lot of personal credibility left. And he's made somewhat of a comeback. Jyotiraditya Scindia has so far ruled himself out uh, of
लोकल
the chief
कैंपेन भी
minister.
इतना नहीं किया ना ज्योतिरादित्य ने. आई
किया
आई
है,
मीन
आई मीन नो नो
मतलब यार
लास्ट
और हैव यू नोटिस न्यूज़ तो कवर ही नहीं कर रहा है पांचों असेंबली इलेक्शन
बहुत
को.
बहुत I tweeted this. So one of the
As if they don't
unfortunate,
even care. Like Israel Hamas is the only issue that matters to Indian news channels.
so there are two reasons that could be the case, right? First, the elections are so one-sided that कि क्या बात करनी, but we know that's not the case.
नो
The
ये तो
second,
मेरे को लगता है बीजेपी हार रही है इसके लोग कवर ही नहीं कर
uh-huh,
रहे.
that is what I'm saying. So I think the BJP is on a very sticky wicket in
या
assembly elections in all four
राजस्थान
states.
छोड़ के
नहीं,
राजस्थान छोड़
even
के
in Rajasthan or Rajasthan, because in Rajasthan mein to it's their own doing, and we'll talk about it when we go to Rajasthan, because Rajasthan they should have won, because there is a revolving door policy in Rajasthan, but they are not nominating Vasundhara. Vasundhara is giving statements like, "अरे
I
मैं
have
तो
heard
resign
the
कर
name of
दूंगी."
Thawarchand Gehlot.
अरे no no many. I've even heard Gajendra Shekhawat in Rajasthan. So it's
तो क्या
it's
क्या
like
नाम सुनने
a
को आ रहे हैं.
हाँ, मतलब इट्स लाइक, और तेलंगाना में तो ये ऐसी हालत है कि दे आर नॉट इवन गिविंग अ फेस. लाइक किशन रेड्डी इज द पार्टी इन चार्ज इन द स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट, but
Yeah.
I was asking someone, is it going to be Sanjay Reddy, are you going to go with Raja Singh as your leader in the assembly? What's going to happen? No one is going to tell me. But again, I digress. Back to Madhya Pradesh, and then we'll go to
Hmm.
these other states.
Yeah, sorry.
uh,
It's my fault.
no नहीं, but होता ही है ना, because there is very मतलब on Indian news channels you almost have to find the journalists that really want to talk about the elections to have discussions even about the elections. Right now there are not being any sort of discussions. um, and in Madhya Pradesh, so in Madhya Pradesh you have basically the state also has various parts. So to the west, you see that state, the part of Madhya Pradesh that is bordered with Gujarat and Maharashtra, that has some sort
Mm.
of tribal areas also. And so wahan pe that is also a factor. Then there is this area up north where which is, next to UP, so next to the Jhansi, the Bundelkhand area of UP. So wahan pe the issues are different. In Chambal, there are different issues and stuff. Yes, you don't hear, that's another thing, we don't hear the horror stories about Chambal that we used to, because they have that has gone the other way. But I want to talk to you guys about this very interesting constituency of Madhya Pradesh, Kushal. It's called Betul. Okay. Now
Mhm.
Betul is the bellwether, is the typical bellwether constituency of Madhya Pradesh. Okay.
Yeah.
Now in and here is what I'm telling you. It's number 131 if you in the map that he was showing. In 2003, from 1990 when it voted for BJP, then 93, 98 Congress, 2003, 8 and 13 again BJP, 2018 it votes Congress. It's a constituency in the south, right there, 131. So that is Betul. So it is considered to be one of the, I mean, there are a few other bellwether constituencies, but that is the biggest one, that wherever Betul goes, the rest of the state goes. And it is
Mm.
insane that the last how many years, since 1985, they've been getting each and every election correct in terms of the
Mm.
trend. But these are the issues we talked about. Let me tell you where Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So we'll go with a little bit of the opinion polls and the history of the opinion polls on this.
Mhm.
Everybody is giving, typically in 2008, 2003 and 13, there was at least a 5 to 10% gap. So 2003 there is a 10% gap. 2008 BJP wins 143 seats with only 37% vote. Now, why does that happen?
Mm.
9% of the votes goes to Mayawati. Mayawati gets 22 lakh votes. She wins 7 seats. So that is a huge chunk. So she takes 2% of the vote from the BJP, and then a lot of votes goes to independents also, BJP independents. Then we come to 2013, which is BJP's probably most comprehensive victory. Shivraj is at a high. There is a Modi wave in India, and BJP gets 45% vote. Congress only manages 36%. I remember a very funny story from 2013. Randeep Surjewala was the Congress spokesperson, and he would be
Mm.
asked, "Who is your chief ministerial candidate in Madhya Pradesh?" And then he would start this long-winded 1.5 minute answer. Our candidates are Shri Kantilal Bhuria, Shri Ajay Singh, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, Shri Kamalnath, Shri this, Shri. So Madhya Pradesh Congress is built up of these 7 to 8 satraps. There are some tribal leaders. There are some old rajas like Digvijay Singh, um, Arjun Singh's family, and so forth. Jyotiraditya Scindia at that time was with the Congress. And so everyone could get 4 or 5 of their own seats, but they would make sure that the other 5 seats around them, they are not getting. So Congress would always be limited to about 50, 60, 70 seats because of the satraps delivering a few seats. But then beyond that, they never prospered. That changed in 2018 when Kamal Nath essentially, steamrolled a lot of these factions, and Congress was in such dire straits, and he was the only one who was winning Chhindwara in Lok Sabha. So then Kamal Nath comes and gets them to 114, gets them to 40%, above 40% for the first time in over 25 years. That is how
Mm.
significant Congress's performance was. And
And should be appreciated. Should be appreciated.
absolutely, and I've said this a million times. I'm no fan of Mr. Kamalnath, but the fact is, he won his
Hey,
party
he
the
good.
mandate, and yeah, he
Yeah.
did good for himself. Now we are there to the 2020 Madhya Pradesh political crisis, and 22 MLAs actually resigned to the from the thing, and they shifted to BJP with Jyotiraditya Scindia. 2 days later, 2 days later, basically three of those joined the BJP. 19 of those said that we are going to fight other elections. and
Hmm.
by-elections. And out of those 19, some were selected, some lost. But basically, BJP had enough numbers to stay in power. And from 23rd March
The size
2020,
of the assembly reduced at that time during the vote, when they
Mhm.
took the vote, if you remember,
Mhm.
right?
Correct, absolutely. And then out of those, few were made cabinet minister.
Hmm.
uh, one of
Which
them
was
was
quite
Imarti.
obvious.
One of them was Imarti Devi, who was made the cabinet minister, but then she lost her elections. But then the five others who have made, all won as BJP candidates. So uh, Congress won about six or seven, seven of those. But and also very interestingly, this happened right as the 2 days before the lockdown happened in India.
Hmm.
23rd March 2020. So uske baad a lot of political activity in India sort of stopped.
Hmm.
So बीजेपी को उसका भी फायदा हुआ. तो three
Yeah.
and a half years later, now that sort of alliance is being tested, and a lot of some ex BJP folks have been accommodated by Kamal Nath in Congress as well. So how that happens remains to be seen. But right now, from whatever trends I'm looking, BJP is slightly ahead, but Congress is not completely out.
Okay, so in terms of the main caste groups in
Hmm,
Madhya Pradesh, so
hmm,
obviously you have Brahmin, Baniya, Rajput. These are the three castes. Then you have Kurmi. Then you have Yadav. Then there are obviously other OBC castes in Madhya Pradesh.
correct.
Then Kirar Thakad is another community that is a major community in
Mhm,
Madhya Pradesh. Bhil
hmm,
is another community. Then there are
hmm,
The Jatav Satnami voters, as you can see why BSP is there over there. Then there are
mhm,
other Dalit communities, and then there is the Muslim vote. But just for the
mhm,
information of our viewers or listeners, these are the major caste or religious blocks
hmm,
in
hmm.
Madhya Pradesh.
Correct, correct. And Madhya Pradesh has one of the most significantly large OBC populations in India. So that is a huge factor as well. Uh,
Hmm.
Very interestingly, where in the neighboring states to the north, Congress is jumping up and down about the caste census. They have not said a word about that in Madhya Pradesh. And one of the reasons is what I said. Madhya Pradesh is one of the OG Hindutva states in India.
Yeah.
Hindutva works. If there are three states in India where BJP was a significant presence with Hindutva, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Gujarat. Those would be my top three states. Then the other Rajasthan and stuff comes where BJP had the presence, but they had a very large presence in these three states. And
Hmm.
there is when it comes to Bhopal and other cities, there is also a significant Muslim population. So there are few seats where there is going to be a that sort of a issue as well. Hindu Muslim issue, Congress will try to make it, but again, Congress has kept it seat by seat. But let me tell you a little bit about the exit polls. And ABP News Sea Water did these exit polls. I personally have said that in the last 3 weeks that I think Congress is marginally ahead. I don't buy some of these opinion polls, but I'm sorry, not exit, I should say opinion polls. But this is what Seawater and ABP projected.
Hmm.
October 2023, BJP 44.7%, Congress
Hmm.
44.6%.
Yeah, it's a 0.1% difference. That's all the opinion poll
Correct.
differences.
Now, in November 23, those numbers have changed. So India
Hmm.
Today and CNX, India TV, not India Today. India TV and CNX have said 46% and 43%,
Hmm.
with a 3% gap. But ABP Seawater is saying 42% for BJP and 44% for the Congress. Regardless, here is what a difference of two can do. India TV and CNX is saying BJP will win 119, Congress wins 107. Seawater is saying 118 to 130 for Congress and 99 to 111 for BJP. Bottom line is a 2% swing at any for any party means a net loss of 25 seats. And in
Hmm.
Madhya Pradesh, those 25 seats only go one way to the other party. So
Hmm.
there is no. So when we come to Rajasthan, I'll talk about this. But if
The
you
Madhya
look at
Pradesh Congress opinion poll suggests Congress can get 113 to 125 seats, and BJP is likely to win 106 to 116 seats, right?
so that is one of the polls, but then the one that have been conducted last week, they are saying 118 to 130 for Congress.
Okay. So they have
But personally,
given
if you
slightly
ask
higher.
me, yeah, personally, if you ask me, I think Congress is very close to the majority part mark, and that is one of the reasons why you don't see the campaign being splashed in the national television. That if the BJP does well, great, there'll be a splash, but there is a chance that Kamal Nath might swing this for the Congress.
Yeah, let's see. It's very interesting. But yeah, Madhya
Exactly.
Pradesh in terms of actual numbers is a very close tie. But yeah,
Hmm.
I also, from whatever I've spoken to folks at
Hmm.
the ward level and the Zilla level in MP, in the party structure. When I say the party structure, I mean the BJP structure. I mean, for people who don't know, I am a BJP supporter and voter. In
Hmm.
case you don't know, but analysis is analysis. But I think it's only fair you know that I'm a BJP supporter and voter. In case
Hmm.
you are listening to this podcast for the first time, so whatever discussion I've had with BJP folks in Madhya Pradesh in the party structure, they say the likelihood of BJP losing is very high right now.
Very
It
high.
will be a close contest, but Congress की सरकार बनेगी.
And I will tell you, the key is always going to be the Jabalpur division, which is the southeast of the state, where Jabalpur division is where Kamal Nath has Chhindwada, where he's very strong. It has about 38 seats, and then there are neighboring divisions where about there are 15-20 seats where there is a
Yes.
cascading effect. Congress swept most of it last time. And if it even comes close to sweeping it this time, if it gets say 40-45 seats from Jabalpur and a couple of other divisions nearby, there's no way BJP can come to power, because then they're going to start with a formidable advantage.
Hmm.
So that is the thing. Another interesting fact is elections this time are also going to be held 10 days before they had been held last time. I have no idea
Yeah.
why, but they are. Last time they were held on
Oh,
27th
I
November.
think वो दिवाली के बाद के हिसाब से वो लोग डेट एंड वर्किंग शेड्यूल उसके हिसाब से आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज सम रीजन 10 दिन में
नो
क्या
नो नो
फर्क
नो
पड़ता
आई
है.
नहीं नहीं कोई कोई बड़ा सा रीजन या ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आई एम जस्ट सेइंग एज एन ऑब्जर्वेशन थिंग
Hmm.
कि 10 दिन यूजुअली इसीलिए भी रखेंगे इफ दे नो द इलेक्शन इज क्लोज. द गवर्नमेंट विल वांट दैट एक्स्ट्रा 10 days फॉर द प्राइम
Yes.
मिनिस्टर टू कैंपेन. एंड आई एम जस्ट
Hmm.
सीइंग दैट आई डोंट थिंक फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. एंड अगेन I want to make a huge caveat here. This is not to extrapolate that BJP will win this many seats in Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, they might still go 25-4
ना ना
because
25 आउट ऑफ 25 भी हो जाएगा. लेट
नहीं 29
वो
आउट
हम
ऑफ
लास्ट में डिस्कस करेंगे.
हाँ
लास्ट में डिस्कस
वो
करेंगे
लास्ट
कि
में.
इसका एक्सट्रैपोलेशन
चलो
ऑन
ठीक है.
लोकसभा क्या
लेट्स
होएगा.
लेट्स लेट्स डिस्कस आफ्टर ऑल द स्टेट्स. नो
या
प्रॉब्लम.
या सो नाउ लेट अस जंप इनटू राजस्थान. आदित्य,
अच्छा,
मध्य
आई
प्रदेश को
थॉट
बहुत टाइम दे
छत्तीसगढ़ में
दिया.
छत्तीसगढ़ की बात करते
नहीं,
नेबरिंग
पहले
है एंड
राजस्थान
देन.
करते हैं.
ओके,
नहीं, नहीं,
पहले
पहले
राजस्थान
राजस्थान
करते हैं. नो
करते हैं,
प्रॉब्लम.
फिर छत्तीसगढ़
साउंड्स गुड.
करते हैं. So Rajasthan has 200 seats, as you can see on the screen, and the current distribution is INC is 108, independent 13 है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी 70 है. So for the audio listeners, I'm reading the number of seats, and there is a reason for that. I mean, this is obviously the assembly design of these fellows. And
But
now
one
I
thing I
will
have to
go and open
outrage
the.
about, and I if you can scroll down, Kushal, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you short or something, but if you can
No, no, no,
scroll down
बोलना.
opinion polls, this is why और शायद ऊपर थे. All the opinion polls are pointing towards one thing:
Hmm.
Congress and BJP getting more than 88% or 85% combined. Okay,
Hmm.
कोई ओपिनियन पोल, सारे ओपिनियन पोल्स बीजेपी को दे रहे हैं राजस्थान. Some opinion polls are saying 46% to BJP, 45 and 42 to Congress. Now,
Hmm.
here is why I do not believe those numbers. If you look at every single election that has happened in Rajasthan in the past 25 years,
Hmm.
BJP plus Congress has never, and I repeat, never crossed 80% together.
Hmm.
It barely touches. The last three elections, so they have
Yeah, I'm
been.
opening the poll prediction article, which
Yes.
was
So
published
if
by these guys, अपना ABP.
correct,
ABP में ही आया था.
and I have no reason
Yeah,
not to trust Yashwant's number.
this is
I
Rajasthan.
respect Yashwant as a pollster and stuff, but the problem is I think they are overestimating a lot of underestimating a lot of the independents, because they are
Hmm.
saying कि BJP के favor में 6% आएंगे और others से 6% जाएंगे. Now one of the reasons that could happen is that Hanuman Prasad Beniwal factor and stuff, that those votes can be going towards BJP. But Rajasthan is one state where independent independents have always done well. So even in the
Yes.
last election, there were 13 independents, and independents got 10% of the vote. So 13 independents, I mean, is a heck of a lot. That is 6% of your
Oh
seats
yeah.
going to
Yeah, yeah.
independents. And then you had the BSP again winning 6 seats in Rajasthan. Then you had the
Yes.
Rashtriya Loktantrik Party,
4% of the vote share is a lot of votes, yeah.
huh,
4% is
and
a significant vote share.
and Rashtriya Loktantrik Party is Hanuman Beliwal's party, which is basically mainly a Jat party, and
Hmm.
he was Hanuman Beliwal was from the BJP back in the day, Nagaur se tha, and then he created his own party, and then after he was expelled, and now they are in the they were in the alliance. Now in this election, they are in. Alliance with that Chandrasekhar Azad Ravan or Chandrasekhar Azad, I mean, however you call him, his Azad Samaj Party. So
Yeah.
he is a sort of a competing force to Mayawati. And so I personally think that I don't think these numbers are going to hold true. I think
Hmm.
Rajasthan is going to throw split verdicts of a crazy variety. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it
just not
usually does that, yeah. It usually does that.
Huh. And Congress, if Congress crosses 40%, Congress will get 100 seats because Congress का vote share ऐसा है. BJP, even if it crosses 40%, it is not guaranteed to get 100 seats because uh, it does not happen then that BJP is just in contest with the BJP. कभी कभी BSP साथ में होती है, कभी they have the RSP. So RLP. So there is a very interesting. Also, BJP has a huge margins in some seats. In seats of Jaipur, Jhalawad, where Vasundhara Raje fights from, Udaipur, BJP gets a huge margins on those seats. Now, couple of things that have happened. Vasundhara is no longer the face of BJP in Rajasthan. Uh, she might be the face in posters, but he's certainly not projected as the chief ministerial candidate. There is Gajendra
Officially
Shekhawat.
not projected. Officially
Official,
not projected.
I doubt. And knowing Vasundhara Raje, I doubt if she's ever going to be a consensus candidate. I love her as a leader, but I just don't
Yeah.
think that
She's a very
she
polarizing figure inside the BJP
inside the
Rajasthan
BJP.
faction.
That's right. It's very happening. And then here is the thing. Apart from everything, apart from all the issues, the biggest issue in Rajasthan is going to be security, because there are a lot of other questions raised about Gehlot, and his women's safety remains always an issue. And the biggest X factor, the Sachin Pilot X factor. Right now,
Hmm.
Sachin Pilot
That's
has
what I
been.
wanted to talk about it. Ki matlab, how much of the current chief minister and Sachin Pilot rift is going to affect this election?
I don't know,
That's a
but
question I wanted to
if
ask.
Sachin Pilot if Sachin Pilot manages to go through the whole election without whining and making sure that he supports sort of Gehlot and so forth, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge should be given the Baba Siddiqui Award of best unification on iftar parties, because
Mhm.
somehow he would have managed Gehlot and Pilot, Sidramaiah and Shivakumar, and Kamal Nath and the rest of the star cast in Madhya Pradesh. I don't think कि कांग्रेस के बस किसी और के बस. And again, lot of disagreements with Kharge, but my God, no one in Congress had managed to do that. And for the fact of the matter is, during the Madhya Pradesh manifesto launch, Digvijay and Kamalnath were joking with each other on stage. They were Digvijay has essentially ceded ground, and so that credit has to go to Kharge. That whoever he
Hmm.
did it, Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, yeah, whatever Congress's pressure tactics are, it seems to have worked. And Sachin Pilot has suddenly calmed down.
Mhm.
So Sachin Pilot, as we have seen, he always wants to. I mean, he's wanted to be the CM face and stuff, and nothing is wrong. But then Gehlot is also promoting his son. Now, Gehlot is a wily old customer. He is not going to just give up power and so forth. So you do see that Gehlot is trying to um, uh, sort of make adjustments and stuff. But he has to assure two things. कि एक तो first of all, his own ghad is not compromised, because BJP is threatening to go basically attack where his stronger areas and stuff. And
That's true.
and And he in turn is trying to see that if with Vasundhara receding, what will they do in that. Now there is also Rajendra Singh Rathod, who is a outside candidate, because he has been the leader of opposition. Now, for years and years, the Rajasthan BJP leader of opposition was a man called Gulab Chand Kataria. He was a Jain leader from Udaipur.
Hmm.
As you know, Rajasthan also has a very high Jain population, probably even
Population.
more than Gujarat. He, since 2023 February, has been serving as the governor of Assam. So clearly, BJP has taken him from the western coast, western side of India, and transported him to the east, and they do not want him close to the Rajasthan elections. Vasundhara and him used to have a lot of run-ins. He was the home minister, then he used to be the leader of opposition. But then now I think this is his retirement posting. So I thought that that would have meant that Vasundhara would be given a clean shot to, try to go for the jugular. But even she has not been nominated. So it's just going to be, and every election that BJP has lost in 2008 and 2018, the last two elections have both been their doing in Rajasthan. uh, Vasundhara was not that unpopular a chief minister, but the fact is in 2008 there was a lot of fight between the Jaswant Singh faction, the Bhairon Singh Shekhawat faction, and so forth. I mean, Bhairon Singh Shekhawat's loyalists, I should say. He was no longer
Hmm.
active in the active and so, but basically BJP still managed to get 78 seats, and they
Yep.
were only below Congress by 2%. If BJP had actually paid attention and managed these factions, Vasundhara could have come back to power. um,
Absolutely.
Now come to 2013, where she storms back to. That was one election where not only her, Mr. Modi campaigned with her, like they campaigned together, and BJP gets 163 seats out of 200. It
Yeah, they had
was a
literally मतलब सुपड़ा साफ कर दिया था राजस्थान
सुपड़ा
असेंबली
साफ
का.
कर दिया था कांग्रेस के. Yeah, so Helot gets like 33% and 21 seats. Then we come to 2018 again. Vasundhara loses 90 seats, but she's still at 75. So when BJP loses, their delta has always been that 70-75 mark.
Quite high, quite high.
Huh,
They
and
have a
so for
solid
them,
voter base at a
solid
state
base.
level, not a national level. Let us not confuse. I
Huh.
just to paraphrase what Adit is saying, so that you don't get to what he's trying to say is, as a state party, BJP is very strong.
Very strong in Rajasthan, and Vasundhara has made it strong. So the last time BJP was weak was in 1998 when Shekhawat, was the CM in 93. But he lost, and they only got 33 seats, and Congress got 153 seats. So
Hmm.
1998 was what Vasundhara did in 2013. But since then, she has brought the BJP base to at least 75 seats. So again, for BJP to win this election, they only need a swing of 1 or 2%. They only need 25 seats. They get
Hmm.
25 seats, they are in power.
Hmm.
So that is why I'm saying BJP is likely to be the front runner in power. But this is the only time in a long time that I've seen that Congress is actually trying to hold on a straight desperately. So
Hmm.
Congress, if BJP even gets to power, I don't see it getting like 120, 130 seats. It will be like 110 thing, and Congress will have held on. That would also mean whoever the leader of opposition of the Congress is, if the BJP wins, uh, and most likely it'll be Sachin Pilot, he'll have a big base to operate his uh, uh, candidacy on. So that
Hmm.
is uh, the answer, or that is the summary of Rajasthan. A close election, but if Madhya Pradesh was close with Congress slightly in front, Rajasthan is close with BJP very slightly in front. But as I said earlier, that I would not say it's a comfortable win for the BJP. There is a chance that Congress will do, and the jigsaw puzzle here is going to be the Jat vote. Where will the Jat vote
Hmm.
go? Rajasthan has a significant Jat population, and
Hmm.
there was the whole Jat agitation, and the Punjab, the whole farm laws agitation and stuff. So where does BJP and how does it play with the Hanuman Prasad Beniwal angle? So wo dekhne wali baat hai, but it is going to be a fight to the finish. It's going to be a photo finish. We'll just have to see which party is remaining in the photo when we are done in the end.
Yeah. Now let us go to Chhattisgarh, the state you wanted to discuss.
Correct.
And
Uh,
now I'll put the photo on the stage. It is a 90-seat assembly.
Huh.
Currently, Congress has 71 seats and BJP has 14 seats.
Chhattisgarh is an unbelievably wacky state to predict. When I say wacky, it is really, really wacky. It is a significant tribal population. It has some cities and stuff, but they are not those big cities that are in your face, like Bhopal or Ahmedabad or something like that. Raipur is a small city. And so there are issues that are urban and stuff, but there are also going to be very, very localized city issues.
Hmm.
Now, in Chhattisgarh, there has been essentially, Raman Singh used to be the big BJP,
Our Baba.
हाँ, क्या now this time आपको रमन सिंह का नाम कहीं नहीं दिख रहा है. I mean, I don't think he's going to be elevated as the chief ministerial face.
Yeah.
Narayan Chandel, who is the leader of opposition, is going to be there. So BJP, last time everyone knew BJP was getting hammered, but no one predicted how badly they would get hammered. BJP only ended up with 15 seats last time.
Hmm.
I mean, it was really bad. It was a complete one-sided win for Bhupesh Baghel. Here too, there is a internal fight with the Congress, with the TS Singh Deo and Bhupesh Baghel fighting, and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge came and did what he does. But here is the wild west of the Chhattisgarh politics. Before that, let's go a little bit back. So ever since Chhattisgarh was formed in 2000, Congress was only in power once, in from 2000 to 2003, when Ajit Jogi was the CM.
Yeah.
Since 2003, BJP has always been in power. And and here is the funniest statistics from them. 2003 BJP won 50 seats. 2008 BJP won 50 seats. 2013 BJP won 49 seats, and I think they
49
won
seats.
one seat in by poll. So they are there. They were just holding on to their power, with Raman Singh getting 1% here there. So he would get between that 40-41% mark. Where
Hmm.
things changed was 2018. There was anti-incumbency. Ajit Jogi was finally let go by the Congress. He had this alliance. Congress, in a very tragic Maoist attack, lost most of its leadership in Chhattisgarh,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was left without leaders. So Ajit Jogi forms this alliance with CPI, BSP, and his own party is called JCC, which is Janta. Congress. He of course died in 2020, but in 2018 he formed the alliance, and they got 7.6% vote. Now BJP lost 8% of the vote, and most people thought it would all go to Congress, but some of it went to Mr. Jogi, 7%, and some of it went to Congress. Congress got a 4% bump, but it was a trifecta in some seats. And what happened was that with a 43% vote, Congress swept and got about almost a two-thirds majority. They got 68
Hmm.
seats. So now Bhupesh Baghel is, in the leading. And in my opinion, I think Mr. Baghel is going to come back to power. I I honestly don't see. I think BJP is within the margin of error in Chhattisgarh. They are within
Going to be a
3%
close
mark.
battle. I think both Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh are going to be a close battle, but slightly tilting to the Congress.
I would say Congress is feeling slightly more comfortable about Chhattisgarh than they are about Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, it's a de facto BJP state since the last 15 years. Chhattisgarh you could have said that yes, BJP was in power, but it was not a BJP state. Raman Singh had done some sort of alliances and factions, or सारे गुट को इकट्ठा करके रखता था, and that is why BJP would hold on to whatever base they were. I
Hmm.
don't think Chhattisgarh is a de facto Congress state, which Raman Singh had managed to flip. And I'm not sure if Mr. Narayan Chandel can actually do that. And BJP, mein, there is a serious apathy. Like, I was looking at the campaign in Chhattisgarh. I couldn't make out who the BJP face was. Even Mr. Narayan Chandel. I mean, I'm a political junkie, so I keep track of who the leader of opposition and stuff is. People in the
Hmm.
chat can tell us if they had even heard of Mr. Chandel's name, and this is not disrespect to him. I'm sorry, but no one has heard of anything about BJP in Chhattisgarh. So that is the biggest problem. And there is also the tribal votes. Yeah, how will the tribal votes thing. And then a lot of people are a lot of people, what they are saying in Chhattisgarh is that Congress will get a minimum of 42 43 seats. If they are at 43, 45 plus 1 is the halfway mark, they will form the government, because Chhattisgarh mein BSP independents ke hote hain, and BSP I've always seen they are more likely to go and support the Congress than they are to the BJP, because
Hmm.
BJP is in power in the center. So you never know when those MLAs can go and cross over to the BJP. With Congress, they are like, they feel that they have more bargaining power. So we just have to see how does that pan out in that.
Hmm. All right. So now we go into Telangana, and Telangana is a 119 seat assembly.
Hmm.
As of now, the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti has 100 seats.
Hmm.
AIMIM, All India
Correct.
Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin, has 7 seats.
That's
Indian
right.
National Congress has 6 seats. Bharatiya Janata Party has 3 seats. Independent have 2 seats, and 1 seat is vacant. This is the
Yes,
current state of affairs in Telangana.
that is correct. And I will tell you this. Um, here is the here is the weirdest situation in Telangana. It's the newest state in India. Uh,
Yes.
it is Andhra Pradesh was always there, and it's split into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. But Telangana might be the first trifecta contest we are seeing in a long time. It is not going to be a trifecta contest in every seat, but it is going to be a trifecta contest in a lot of small seats. Now, here is the weird part. The Congress party was down to 8 seats because there was a lot of shuffling where Congress won 19 seats in the last time, but a lot of people switched over and stuff. A lot of them have come back to the Congress. Congress has
Hmm.
also done an alliance with the Communist Party of India. Now,
Hmm.
we all laugh at the CPI, but their communists actually have a little bit of a base in Telangana. With the whole
Yeah.
it being an Naxalite area and so forth.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, in 2004, undivided Andhra Pradesh, communists actually won seats. I think they won 4 seats or something. This is when, or 2 seats, I forget, but they won some
Mhm.
Lok Sabha seats in Andhra Pradesh.
Mhm.
So they've been there. So that is the reason why they have accommodated. BJP, on the other hand, has done an alliance with Janasena Party, Pavan Kalyan, whose symbol, very interestingly, is a cutting cup of chai. So I thought that was a very. This is the amazing part about Indian politics. You find these random things of state parties,
Yeah.
and AIMIM ki symbol. Most people will not know what is the symbol, but it is a patang. So, matlab, you and I are politics. So I just
पतंग को
wanted to
वोट
put
मत
it.
करना बेसिकली.
हाँ, पतंग वोट बट करेंगे. AIMIM will always get 10 seats in Telangana, come what may, because they have their base. There are
In the
seats that
urban
are
area basically.
in the urban areas, and in the Muslim areas. There are 40% plus Muslim seats where no one except AIMIM is going to win. Their only opponent in those areas is BJP. Now, BJP has a lot of satraps in Telangana, which they have been given seats. Now, they have actually given a lot of seats to MPs. So, Arvind Dharmapuri, who's an MP from Nizamabad, he has been given the seats of Korutla. There is Bandi Sanjay Kumar, who who is a member of parliament from Karimnagar, and he is also a Vidhan Sabha candidate from Karimnagar. There is Etala Rajendra, who used to be in the Bharat Rashtriya Samiti, who was the Minister of Finance, first Minister of Finance for Telangana when it was formed, but then he has switched over to the BJP, and he was the leader of opposition. So he is from Huzurabad, and I think the reason why they have not declared who the CM faces is there is going to be a challenge between Etala Rajendra and the Bandi Sanjay Kumar. Kishan Reddy, that's why is brought as the consensus BJP president, that after the election is over, he'll sort of, if BJP is in the power or in, they'll select. But
तेलंगाना में तो हो गया बीजेपी का काम.
huh, but BJP, I think, is in uh, is in running for about 10 or 15 seats, maybe 20, 21 seats if you count with its allies and some thing. But the other seats are all going to be a straight fight between the Congress and the BRS.
Pretty
Now, I
much.
say running. I'm not saying it's going to win 20 seats. I'm saying it's in the running in 20 seats. That
Yeah, yeah.
means, in my
Competing.
opinion, competing. In my opinion, BJP's vote share in Telangana is close to 15 or 20%, which is not bad at all, because last time they got, I think, 17 or 20% vote share and got 4 Lok Sabha seats. So that is the only way you expand your base. You keep it concentrated, you win your 20 seats. Next election you try for 40, then you try for 50. That is how you do it. The fact is, though, but when you sign up these satraps and these state leaders and all of them from other parties, there is going to be a problem, because they are going to demand their share of loyalists and their share of tickets. And if they don't win, they're going to switch. And so then your strategy is basically down to the dumps. KCR, on the other hand, is doing this election. This is his handoff to son and daughter election. If you see in the last 2 or 3 months, the son and daughter have been on all podcasts and these discussions and stuff. K. Kavita is there interviewing on certain, interview channels and stuff. This KT Ramarao is speaking. He's been given legislative. So I think this could be KCR's last election. I think they are going to try and win one last emotional appeal on their father's name, that, oh, he's the one who gave you Telangana, and gave that thing. Then hand off the ball, so to speak, to KT Ramarao in the middle of the term or the end of the term, and then he's going to be the de facto leader of the BRS.
Yeah.
People from Telangana can comment in our chat and message and see if I'm wrong, but I think this is what it seems like happening. Now, the fact is, does KTR have the same base as his father? I'm not so sure.
No.
I don't think he's the same leader. And
I mean, he's
his
a good
sister,
speaker. He's a good speaker. He relates to the urban base in
hmm,
his own way, but I don't think so. He has his father's grip. That's just my opinion.
he does not. Now, he's no Nara Lokesh, Chandrababu Naidu's son. And Chandrababu Naidu is in such deep shit that he's in jail, and his party is not even contesting any seats.
Yeah. How fantastic, isn't it?
And this is the exactly, this is the man who 15 or 20 years ago, his campaign pledge in Andhra in 2004 was, he is the man who created this new version of Hyderabad, this
Mhm.
Cyberabad and all that. So 20 saal mein kya takdeer badal jati hai. This is, and in 2014 he stormed to power in Andhra Pradesh, was the CM there, uh,
Yeah.
again jumped out of the alliance of the BJP, took a wrong
Mhm.
decision in 2019, and now he's nowhere. So from 20, he was the CM of Andhra Pradesh till 2019, and now 4 years
Yeah.
later he's in jail.
Yeah. And he basically, his political party and his
And
political career is in complete shambles.
and no one is even talking about him. Matlab, the only thing worse for a political leader to be in jail is to be in jail and no one to talk about it and
Yeah.
ask that
Between me,
question.
jail and ignored.
Matlab, this Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's halat is worse than Manish Sisodia.
Yeah.
That is. Can
That's
you
true.
imagine, Kushal, a world in Indian politics where Raghav Chadda had more political influence than
Yeah. Isn't
Chandrababu
that insane?
Naidu?
But we are, we are in that time, right? It's
This is
kind of
like that
insane.
dystopian reality that Indian politics has become in 4 years. That
Mm.
the CMs of the one of the biggest states in India, and the sort of the creator of a political economy of a city, or the
Mm.
thing is, this is him going out of Hyderabad is like Thackeray is going out of Bombay. that is
Yeah.
that is how that is how big it is. So but there are obviously a lot of other issues also, happening. And so, but yeah, so given the fact, I see PRS coming to power, but Congress is within 1 or 2% of the margin. Now, I will
Yeah.
tell
That's
you,
what the matlab, opinion poll also is
opinion
suggesting,
polls
right?
and grounds also. So ground reports. Now, if the BJP is not there, I think BRS storms to power. Okay, BRS absolutely storms to power. Um, But with the BJP being there, Congress is the factor. Now, here is the where the conspiracy theories start coming in. What Congress is saying is, with the BJP is not punching above its weight. If the BJP was punching above its weight, BJP would be at 20%, and then Congress would be in really good shape. BJP is holding back in a few seats to ensure that Mr. KCR does not lose his power, and then these guys can go a little bit soft on him in the center. That is the Congress's allegation. I don't agree with it, but that is the Congress's allegation. And if BJP has even thought about this, then they should actually rethink, because the people of they did this once in 1999 in Andhra when they won 20% on their own, and then they gave the ground to Chandrababu Naidu, and it took them 20 years for them to come back. I don't think BJP should make the same mistake in Telangana, and I think BJP should go for the kill. And if that happens, this is going to become the lottery election of 2023, where there are at least 45 seats where BJP may not be a factor to win, but if BJP gets 10%, it is anyone's game. Or kisse 10% aega, that is what. Then you are looking at who has a Muslim face, who has an OBC face, who is doing that, and then OIC is always going to be there in his 10 seats of Hyderabad. Khairatabad, Mushirabad, Charminar, Gosha Mahal. The Gosha Mahal Raja Singh should win, but those seats are all AIMIM, where they are factors.
Yeah. I
So,
think as far as the opinion polls are concerned, they say Congress has the largest swing in its favor, right?
huh. Yes,
They are
and
being told
absolutely.
58.3% votes, say like 39.4% हो रहा है, like 11%
No, no.
swing है.
a- And I will tell you, Congress is being smart about it. So there is this area in Hyderabad called Jubilee Hills.
Hmm.
Very expensive areas, but then also has some. It's a part of Sikandrabad, very area. A lot of upper middle class people, upper class people will stay there. I think the CMs have their houses there, but there is also a significant Muslim population there. Now, if you look at the 2018 sort of results in 2014 first results in Jubilee Hills, you had TDP winning that seat. Okay, Chandrababu Naidu, I think himself stays there with 51,000 votes. The number two was a guy called Naveen Yadav. Guess which party he was from? AIMIM.
Hmm.
AIMIM gave a Hindu a seat from Jubilee Hills, and he got 5% of the vote. So the Congress has done the other thing. Who have they given the city to? Ticket to Muhammad Azharuddin. So
Hmm.
they are hoping that Muhammad Azharuddin, being the Indian sort of captain or something, he can transcend those boundaries, get some Hindu votes, but then also get some Muslim votes from AIMIM. And it's essentially a four-way fight there: BRS, AIMIM, Congress, and BJP. So
Hmm.
in a four-way fight, if you get 30-31% of the vote, more likely than not, you're going to win.
Hmm.
And last election, Congress had already 34% of the vote. So
Yeah.
it is. And again, in 2018, BJP didn't even give a seat to anyone from there. So
बीजेपी क्या
from there,
player नहीं है ना उस स्टेट में, इतनी कोई मेजर प्लेयर भी नहीं है.
hey, so itni major player nahi hai, but in 2019, I think what has happened is, after 2019, when those getting those four Lok Sabha seats, they started sort of punching above their weight. But agar I don't see KCR getting 100 seats, I don't see him even getting 65 seats. I think whoever wins Telangana is going to be barely
50 से
short of
55 वही रेंज होएगा
50
ना.
से 55 में आएगा. And if you win 20 to 50 to 55, there is a problem, because then there is no government that forms without the support of Asaduddin Owaisi.
Yeah. और बीजेपी.
Well, or BJP, but that is true. So you are absolutely right. It could be a BRS BJP government or a Congress
कांग्रेस
AIMIM government.
में.
Huh. So that is what we have to see. Ki kaun aata hai. So Telangana is going to be your complete wild card come election day. Right now, I'm giving the state. It's going to be a fight where there is going to be less than 2% gap between BRS and Congress. But the only reason I'm going to say Congress is slightly in front is because they are the challenger, and challenger usually has a bit of a hawa when it comes to an anti-incumbency election, and this is an anti-incumbency election because KCR has been in power for 9.5 years now.
या बहुत 2 टर्म बहुत हो गए.
Though term. Yeah. And by the way, don't forget the election was advanced in 2018 by KCR because he did not want it coinciding with the 2019 Lok Sabha, and he was proven right because BJP actually got 4 Lok Sabha seats. If
Yeah,
the state
BJP.
election were the
It's so
same time,
interesting now how the Lok Sabha and assembly trends never match in India.
they
Like
never
people
match.
vote at People vote like chalk and cheese in Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha.
Yes. And when they were there, they would have gotten, like, who knows, 30, 35 seats, MLAs, if they were in Lok Sabha, because, then Modi is the face. So you never know. But BJP, I find it very hard to believe that BJP on its own will get more than 15 seats in Telangana, which is still very impressive. But if it happens, I'll be very pleasantly surprised, but I will be surprised.
All right. The last state, which is Mizoram, 40
Mhm.
seats,
Yes.
key assembly. Mizo National Front as of now has 28. Zoram People's Movement has 6. Indian National
Yeah.
Congress has 5. And BJP has 1. Over to you.
Yeah, so Zoram Thanga is the current chief minister of the Mizo National Front. Now, Mizoram is the most fascinating state ever. First of all, couple of interesting factoids. He is currently the oldest chief minister of India. He's 79.
Hmm.
uh, he's a member of the Mizo National Front, who's always been a little bit on the conservative side on Christianity and stuff like that. They've also not been fans, but they are members of the NDA since 2014. Or at that time, I think they did the whole NEDA with all the Northeastern Party alliance.
Hmm.
Now, Mizo, uh, Zoram Thanga succeeded. He was the second in. So Mizoram people forget, in the 80s there was a secessionist movement that was happening in Mizoram, and
Hmm.
there was a Mizo separatist leader called Lal Denga, who was a foundation of a who was basically doing all these things. He was in the Indian army, and then he basically had did a guerrilla movement that lasted 16 years. And um, and then he was brought into the mainstream politics. Rajiv Gandhi ke sath he he met, signed an accord, uh, and then Lal Thanwala stepped down as the chief minister, deputy chief minister. I think he was the sitting chief minister. He became the deputy CM, and then Lal Denga became the CM. And it was the first
Hmm.
time it had happened in, like, this doesn't happen normally in the world. Zoram Thanga was the deputy of Lal Denga in that movement of Mizoram, and then he became the party leader. Now, the deputy CM at that time of Lal Denga, who was Lal Thanawala, he continued in the Congress. He became the chief minister of Mizoram from the Congress from 2008 to 2018, and then in 2018, the NDA led by Zoram Thanga captured Mizoram back to power. From the Congress party. So that is a background that I had to give. Now, Mizoram has already voted. The elections happened 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Uh, it is already done. Mizoram is another tribe. So I must apologize. I said Telangana is the tribe. Mizoram is another three-way contest. Because Mizoram, there is another third party this time. It is the ZPM, or the Zoram People's Movement. It is it has been found by Lal Duhavama, who was a police officer. He he was an IPS. He was in Indira Gandhi's thing. He left the Indian National Congress and formed this government. Mizoram is one of the few states where all the leaders are older. He's 74 and one of the youngest leaders. But most people are saying that this is going to be a hung assembly, or MNF, or the Mizo National Front, will get less than 20, sort of about 20 seats. Now, here
Hmm.
is the weird part. BJP is technically in alliance with the Mizo National Front, but BJP on itself has fought in 23 seats. So I don't know why, if they are in NDA with Mizo National Front, why are they fighting elections separately without them? But they have.
Nobody knows. Nobody understands
So
the reason.
exactly.
It
And
is.
Northeast is like this. Northeast is this weird political and before you say, oh, how are you stereotyping? I'm not. Arunachal mein ye hota hai, Meghalaya mein hota hai, where if there are defections and factions happen, the entire party goes. Like literally like 50% of the MLAs just get up and go to another
कम
party.
से कम क्लैरिटी तो है उनमें.
Huh. Except for Assam, which is more along the traditional, lines in terms of कि इतने सारे defections नहीं होते. In Meghalaya, even in Tripura, even in Arunachal, Mizoram, होता ही है. And so in Mizoram, there are the joke is there are 40 seats and there are 4,000 aspirants for the 40 seats. And everyone is saying कि हम भी 40 जीतेंगे. And I'm like,
They're very positive
क्या करें?
people. See, you have to understand how positive they are in life.
हाँ, but it is such a free for all that even Aam Aadmi Party has 4 candidates fighting.
बहुत अच्छा, सब लड़ो, मैं भी जाके लड़ूंगा अपनी पार्टी बना
हाँ,
के उधर.
but आम आदमी पार्टी को मैं ये पूछूंगा, did you get 40 votes? Because that is the real question for the Aam Aadmi Party. But I personally think that this is going to be a three-way contest again. BJP is not going to get more than 1 or 2 seats,
Yeah.
and that too if they're very lucky. I don't think BJP is a factor in Mizoram. Mizo National Front gets it, but there is an outside chance that Mizo National Front gets below 15 or below 17, and then
Yeah.
Congress and the ZPM form an alliance. Now,
Hmm.
I'm going to paint two very good scenarios for BJP and two very bad scenarios for BJP in all these states. Uh, let's start with the good scenarios. They scrape through in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, they are still about 35, 40 seats, barely there, hanging on. Rajasthan, they come to power. Telangana, they get about 20 seats or 25 seats, become the kingmaker, and Mizo National Front from the government forms the government in BJP, that in Mizoram. So that is the best scenario for BJP, where they win Rajasthan, scrape through or come hung assembly in Madhya Pradesh with BJP being the single largest party, lose Chhattisgarh, Telangana, and Mizoram, they ally wins. The other better scenario is if Madhya Pradesh they get 120 seats or something, and Chhattisgarh, even though they have a big loss, they at least can say that they won legitimately. They won 2 seats, two states, they lost two and stuff. Now let me
Hmm.
give you the two nightmare scenarios for BJP. They win Rajasthan barely, get like 101, 105 seats. They
Hmm.
lose Madhya Pradesh. They lose Chhattisgarh by a few seats. They Telangana mein BRS comes to power with barely,
Hmm.
and Congress is the second largest party. And Mizoram mein MNF comes to power, but there is still bad news because BJP has only won one state. Now the absolute nightmare scenario: Ashok Gehlot gets 95 seats in Rajasthan. So it's a free for all with BSP and that Chandrasekhar Azad deciding who forms the government. It's going to be a hung assembly in Rajasthan. Congress scrapes to power in Madhya Pradesh. Chhattisgarh, most likely they'll win. Congress wins in Telangana, and Congress and ZPM alliance in Mizoram.
Hmm.
There is actually a chance for the Congress, if they got their act together, that they could win 5-0.
Hmm.
Outside chance. I don't think it's going to happen. I think BJP will still win one state or get close. But
BJP tends
there
to
is,
compete.
yes, exactly. Or and Madhya Pradesh is a classic example. I keep saying it's a very close election, but ek hafta baki hai. In the last
Hmm.
week, the trends have changed. In 2000, in last week, BJP was trailing by 2%. Now BJP is ahead by 1 or 2%, or BJP is going neck to neck. But the vote share barely tells you anything in Madhya Pradesh, because BJP is just getting higher margins. So I
Hmm.
personally think the more realistic scenario is going to be two states to BJP, two states to the opposition, and Telangana is going to be a free for all.
सब खुश रहो, सब लोग खुश रहो.
Sab khush
Okay,
raho.
before
हाँ.
सब
That is
सब
my sort
before
of that is my outs that is my sort of thing. Before people say, what is he doing, painting a doomsday scenario?
So before we wrap it up, there was one
Hmm.
question from a live viewer.
Hmm.
Malyaban Bhattacharya on Fanmo has asked, with the rise of black pill amongst Indians evident amongst the poll predictions, which gives Congress an edge, do you believe that people are eventually fatigued by Mr. Modi and it will affect the 2024 elections as well? I will give my answer first. Hell
Hmm.
no. One has nothing to do with the other. And if anything, if you have followed Indian elections, Indian voters, what happens in the state election has nothing to do with the municipal election, and what
Correct.
happens in the municipal election has nothing to do with the state election, vice versa. And then
Mhm.
the Lok Sabha election is a story of its own. Indian, in fact, I because Adit and I are election junkies, and we follow elections, and we try to give you such detailed explanation every time there is an election. I after following Canadian politics now for a while, I can tell you that Indian voters are very mature. Just like in
Hmm.
Canada, I'll give you an example. सबसे ज्यादा स्टेट लेवल पे कंजर्वेटिव्स जीतते हैं कनाडा में.
Hmm.
कंजर्वेटिव्स कंट्रोल मोर स्टेट्स देन लिबरल्स इन कनाडा. मगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट उनकी लिबरल्स की है.
Hmm.
So voters are very different when it comes to municipal patterns. They again go to liberals in many major cities of Canada. Then state mein they go to conservative. And then in national election, they went to liberal in Canada. Similarly, Indian voters are very smart. They are very intelligent and they pick and choose their party and their candidates. And they're very smart. So I don't think so. We should underestimate the intelligence of the Indian voter and extrapolate anything about the Lok Sabha based on whatever happens in Vidhan Sabha. That's my answer. Now I'll hand it over to Adit.
Oh, I completely agree. I think it is a very dangerous trend to think that Vidhan Sabha, why to extrapolate Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha results to Lok Sabha. Likewise, we cannot do the other thing also. We cannot say that 2019 mein BJP won 28 seats out of 29 in Madhya Pradesh, so now they are going to win 220 Vidhan Sabha seats. It won't happen.
No.
Because first of all, you have to understand one Lok Sabha seat, if you win by 10,000 votes, that means you could have lost two or three Vidhan Sabha seats within that by 5,000
Mhm.
votes.
Yeah.
That is how it works, and it is more localized. Second, the issues are different. Sometimes you want a different leader for the state and different leader for the
And
center,
there are
or not.
strong regional leaders in India, ना आदित. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है
और
कि strong कांग्रेस में नहीं है, इसका मतलब थोड़ी ना कि हर जगह नहीं होगा.
नहीं, और ऐसा मैं वो भी नहीं बोलूंगा कि कांग्रेस में नहीं. आई मीन द फैक्ट इज ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया की हम बात कर रहे हैं, वो था तो कांग्रेस में ही ना. द
नहीं, और
फैक्ट इज ही
ऐसे तो
केम.
राजस्थान में करंट सीएम इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रीजनल लीडर ना.
Correct. And he came to
और इन
BJP,
छत्तीसगढ़.
and clearly BJP made him a cabinet minister, so they see some value to him. So
Yeah,
anyone who
definitely.
is going to jump up and down, and I have said this as an admirer of Modi, Mr. Modi, that I can't be like, "Arey, Congress में तो कोई है ही नहीं," because you have taken some people from the Congress, so
Yeah.
clearly they were good.
स्टेट लेवल पे तो है.
हाँ, and Sachin Pilot के time में भी they were willing to take him, right? So Sachin Pilot is so there are going to be leaders that are going to challenge you. The real question for the BJP is, are they willing to step out of the prime minister shadow? Because see, the advantage you get is that you can run the campaign on your own, but the disadvantage is you are not going to get that additional 5% boost that the prime minister will bring. Madhya Pradesh has changed
Absolutely.
only because of the prime minister started campaigning in the last week, and this
Yeah.
whole Ladli Lakshmi Yojana. So
Yeah.
let's not. I mean, if the elections were done 10 days ago, which is why I'm my shock that they scheduled the election. I mean, if the BJP had one more week, they could have probably actually formed the government very comfortably. But then you never know in the last week what happens, how much cash is flying around the market, all sorts of
Yeah.
things. And
And
in
दिवाली टाइम
Chhattisgarh,
कितना पैसा बांटा होगा ये लोग ने.
by the way, in Chhattisgarh, there is another thing we forgot to mention, is that Mahadev app scandal. That is
हाँ.
actually being
अरे भूल ही गए
ruling
उसके
the.
बारे में बात करना.
Huh. So, I mean, and even the BJP is not talking about it as much. They are targeting Baghel, but I was expecting the prime minister to actually talk about it in the rally and stuff. But it seems the rallies also have been subdued. And in this whole Israel-Palestine issue, it is such a big issue that the state, first time I've seen that the political discussion, America mein to affect hoga hi, because America mein to there are people with emotional, not only ties, physical ties to Israel-Palestine, there are political repercussions. But in
या
India,
और
I never
अमेरिका में
thought there
जूश
would.
पॉपुलेशन आउटसाइड ऑफ इसराइल वन ऑफ द सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पॉपुलेशंस
Yeah,
है ना.
and also the Arab American population who feel very strongly about Palestine. So there
या.
is going to be a fight. But so that is what confuses me. That why it is, it has ceased to be an issue in India. Everything else. So that is why we are going to. It's a free for all, and this is the quietest election campaign that I've seen in a long, long time.
मीडिया कवर नहीं कर रही, कोई कुछ नहीं है, ज्यादा सी हो हल्ले वाले डिबेट्स नहीं हो रहे हैं. तू अगर
Hmm.
सोशल मीडिया पे हर पार्टी का स्पोक्स पर्सन देखेगा, वो लोग भी मतलब इलेक्शन के बारे में बैरली बात कर रहे हैं. उनके ट्वीट्स का एनालिसिस कर. आईटी सेल से मुझे इतने फॉरवर्ड्स नहीं आ रहे हैं. इलेक्शन के पहले नहीं तो मेरा फोन भर रहा होता है आईटी सेल से.
Same.
कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है. नथिंग इज
So
हैपनिंग बेसिकली.
but again, if anyone writes Mr. Modi out, I'm saying even if BJP gets the best case scenario or the worst case scenario, either or, it would be a complete fool's errand to run right out Mr. Narendra Modi, because I think when it comes to campaigning national election, and when he himself is the issue, when he
Yeah,
himself is a ticket, the
that's a different
referendum, the
beast
election,
altogether.
and the election is going to be a referendum on him. And I
Mhm.
guarantee you, when the election is on a referendum on Mr. Narendra Modi, he has always come out on the top. 2024 might be his toughest yet, but it's going to be very, very, very close.
I agree. And that's the only thing I wanted to discuss in the end of the extrapolation from state to Lok Sabha. Honestly, beyond that, there was nothing much to discuss. But listen, I'm at least proud of the fact that come what may, Adit and I, every time there is an election around the corner,
Hmm.
we made it a habit of covering every single state with equal importance, with equal amount of detail.
Mhm.
That is something Adit and I take a lot of pride in, that we have
Absolutely.
made it a regular feature. We do the analysis. In fact, once the election results are done, we will analyze the state election results next month. Whenever the results are out and everything in December,
Uh,
we'll figure out a date and we will give you a proper analysis of we
yeah,
what the poll said, then what actually happened, and which areas mein kya hua. I'll try to get either Nalin or Pradeep. I'll talk to them with Adit
correct.
at that time, and we will do a proper analysis of all the five states. But
Mhm.
beyond that, I think, Adit, is there anything else you'd like to add, or we can
Uh,
wrap it
ju-
up?
yeah, we'll wrap it up in a couple of minutes, but just a couple of things wanted to add on the state elections. You have to understand, now in India, state elections are becoming more and more presidential,
Yeah.
as well, where they want leaders. BJP was the first party to recognize that. The reason why I painted that scenario for BJP is BJP seems to have forgotten that their own strategy this time. Uh, Whereas Congress has actually nominated all the chief ministerial faces. You have Gehlot, you have Baghel, and you have Kamal Nath. BJP, except for Shivraj, does not have that clarity in the states.
Yes.
And that is what shocks me. Even in Telangana, in Congress, I think, first of all, Congress is doing a little better in Telangana than even they expected. But
Hmm.
you have Revant Reddy, who there is a chance that he's going to, be the he's the president of the Telangana Pradesh Congress committee, and the Congress is backing big time on the Reddy votes, which used to be with them, but then they flipped once YSR, passed away. So where what will happen with that remains to be seen. But he used to be in Telugu Desam party, in TDP till 2017. But
Hmm.
then, and he went to Congress. Acha, one very interesting factoid about Revant Reddy. You know which party he was a part of when he was a student leader? Akhil Bharatiya Vidya Parishad, ABVP. So, um, who knows? I mean, if there are some weird things that are happening, people with roots in the BJP and stuff, and I'm just surprised that the BJP has taken these elections lightly as to not nominate a leader. But I hope that strategy changes, and especially for the elections in 2024, we'll see some change. But those two states happen to be Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. Odisha mein BJP has a great working relationship with Mr. Naveen Patnaik, so
Yeah.
I don't know if they really want him out of
कुछ नहीं
power.
करेंगे वो लोग.
कुछ नहीं
उधर
करेंगे.
कुछ
And
नहीं
Andhra
करेंगे.
Pradesh mein same, they have a great working relationship with Jagan Mohan Reddy. So I
उधर
don't
भी
know if
कुछ नहीं करेंगे.
it's going to be a highway there. But we you never know what is going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary, and we will wrap today's discussion up on that. Adit and I will be back together on Monday, because by that time we'll have the semifinals ka clarity as far as
अच्छा,
the World Cup is concerned.
एक कुछ, let me throw in a teaser there. The ICC has just suspended Sri Lankan cricket
Suspended
board.
Sri Lankan cricket board. What the hell? I just got the news flash too.
Yeah,
I was
मेरे
like, ठीक है, Monday को discuss करना
I
पड़ेगा.
was like, no, but कुछ, yeah, this is like coming soon to a theater near you. We're
So,
going to talk
मैंने
about this. And
yeah,
South Africa is about to choke on their run chase into Afghanistan. South Africa had a very, very comfortable win. Now they need 50 runs of 50 balls with
क्या बात
5
कर रहा है?
wickets in
मगर अभी
hand.
तक तो ठीक थे, मैंने 4 विकेट तक देखा था.
Uh, where Afghanistan happened and South Africa cannot chase to save
Oh
their life.
my
And
God. Seriously,
that
South
catch,
Africa.
and we'll go to talk about it, that I don't want to, but if Afghanistan wins this, Mujibur Rahman is probably not going to go to Kabul for at least 3 weeks
Yes.
for
उसको
dropping
बहुत
that Glenn
धुलाई होगी
Maxwell
उसकी.
catch, because then they would have made it to the semifinals.
Yeah, seriously, it's insane. It's insane.
It's
But
insane.
kya bole?
So
You just
ah,
dropped the World Cup semi-final spot for them. But yeah, guys,
exactly.
we'll be back on Monday. Adit and I, we will look at the tournament up to the semi-finals, because on Monday we will know who's going to be the semi-final, at least the fourth one for sure. And
Hmm.
today Afghanistan and yeah, South Africa is there. Tomorrow I think Australia का मैच है, एंड अपना ये पाकिस्तान इंग्लैंड का भी मैच कल ही है ना आदित?
कुदरत कुदरत का निज़ाम कल है, कुदरत का
या
निज़ाम। और
कुदरत का निज़ाम कल है। यस, सो
and India, Netherlands, there, but England has a lot at stake. England has their own
चैंपियंस
slot
ट्रॉफी
at
स्लॉट।
stake. Huh. And it is going to be very interesting, by the way, and so has Netherlands, because if Sri Lanka gets disqualified, okay, Sri Lanka is number 9 right now. Well, Sri Lanka is already out of the Champions Trophy, but if Bangladesh loses big to Australia, and Netherlands, performs a little better against India, you never know. Netherlands might eke through instead of Bangladesh.
Nice. Let's see. Let's see. A lot,
Let's see.
lot, lot,
Lot at stake.
lot, lot at stake. So, as always, Adit, pleasure talking to you, man, and looking forward to
Thank
speaking
you.
with you on Monday.
Absolutely. Looking forward.
All right, guys, we'll wrap today's discussion up. But once again, before I wrap it up, if you're listening to the audio version or you're watching this on YouTube, please go follow Adit on social media. All the details will be in the description of the podcast. And as far as I'm concerned, the Charvak podcast runs on membership. So if possible, do join the membership program on YouTube or Fanmo or Patreon, wherever, whichever platform you prefer. If you can't join the membership program, just and just want to buy some Charvak podcast merchandise, you can go on kushalmehra.com/shop or go to the Kadak merch website and buy over there. It depends, your choice. You can choose any platform you want to, or send your donations to UPI to Kushalmehra at ICICI. If you can't do any of this and just want to support the podcast by watching free content, please go ahead and do that. But at least like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section, and if you're an audio listener, leave a rating on Spotify, iTunes, जहाँ पे भी सुनते हो podcast को. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, namaste, take care, bye bye.